Clauneck and your personal money flow. So this is a conversation I had with Clauneck one night when I was driving back from my yoga class, and I stopped over to get some stuff. And you know, the spirits love talking like fast. If they have like a download they want to give you, it came to me as I finished yoga. And one of the things that I had to personally learn that Clinica wanted me to share on this video is that when you go against the grain of what is considered normal, acceptable, I'm trying to find the words to put it because it's a really interesting topic that I want to cover. Something that I didn't quite think of, but someone had this conversation with me about nearly 10 years ago, and it sort of reminds me of it. So, what's the typical default? My god, I have impeccable timing. I'm just looking, I'm like, where is this noise coming from? It's a plane. I'm like, yeah. I don't know, I think I know the plane's coming before they come. I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I'll just wait for it to pass. Okay. How people see money in this world is trading time for money. So you trade time for money, and your time is your life, right? You can never get that time back. You can never you can never be in two places at once. You have to physically choose one place. Okay, so one of the things I really struggled with in Spartanite was, in many of my services and products, time is actually not attached to it. Aside things like a consultation or in-person mentoring when I choose to provide it, the rest, people make payment and then I just get on with it. Meaning that I don't have to be there constantly, or they don't have to be with me. The way I brought in money was very different to most people. Like, first of all, working very hard for money just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, why do I have to work very hard for it? I'm like, I don't want to work hard for it. Look, I don't think anybody wants to work hard for money, but for me it really didn't make sense in my head. And this is the bit that Clauneck is trying to cover, that if you have not attached your money to time, or your time to money, at first it will feel a little weird. At first it will be like, this feels a bit too easy. Or it's like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like, the best way I can try and describe it, I realized this, and it really humbled me one day when I sat in the park and I was feeding ducks some bread. And I thought to myself, yesterday I took a transaction that most people don't make in 1 month. That could be me wrapped up for the month and I'm done. But that's just a good day, right? So I was just like, okay, what now? And it becomes a bit of a strange situation because the type of work I do, and I want everybody to follow this, what Clauneck is saying. The type of work I do means that it's not gonna be like a convenience store. It's not gonna be like a florist. It's nice to bring in sales every day, but I don't have to. That's the thing. And that's nice. It's weird, but it's nice, and it's nice, but it's weird. And I had to really sit, this is what Clauneck is trying to say, you really have to sit with your personal money frequency. So your personal money frequency is how money actually flows towards you. So most people do not actually know that there is something called a personal money frequency. Hell, I even didn't know it. And you have to really discern what is it. So with most people, their money frequency will be like work a full-time job, work 40 to 50 hours a week, work in an office, do like, I don't know, an 8 to 6, 9 to 5, whatever hours that they've stipulated in the contract for you to do. And then after working all those hours, all those days, then you get this one final day where they make payment to you. And that's 12, you only get paid 12, if you're lucky, 13 times a year. That didn't sit right with me. I was like, I just want money on demand. I just want money. Today I want money, so I'm gonna find it. If you are... Okay, so my earring decided to fall. Interesting. The stopper is still at the back. Alright, that's my new style for this video. It's very interesting that my earring fell off at that time that I said that, because that concept basically fell off for me. I just didn't understand what it was or what was going on. I was like, I don't want to live a life like this. And your personal money frequency is how you choose to bring your money in. A lot of people, like I said, don't really know that they have a personal money frequency, so what do? They go plug into what's the lowest common denominator of the frequency. Get a job. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's tried and tested. It works. You get paid once a month. You're done. And people are so conditioned to think that's actual normality that their mind never goes to anything else. Over a period of time, I started working out that money has flow, money has cycles, money has currents. It has a very strange way of behaving. And if you don't learn those rules and those laws, it will always work against you. So you can either sit and cry about people changing rules and laws and conditions, or you can just get with it and do exactly what money wants you to do or asks you to do. Your money frequency is a very powerful thing because it gives you complete control over your life. Most of us, even including myself, I think for most people, they're okay with this. They don't really need this video because they're not really looking to go against the grain. They're not looking to be iconoclastic, individualistic. They're happy. Like, I have a job. I pay off the mortgage, or I pay my rental, my mortgage. I don't care. My kids are fed, or my house or my dog is okay. I don't really care. But for those of us like me, I didn't want that life. I wanted a life more than that. I wanted to truly experience what it is to live and not exist. So your money frequency comes in line of that. What's your nature of bringing in money? How does money find you? What are the creative ways to pull it towards you? What's going on with it? There's a lot that you have to sit and think of. And Clauneck always reminds me that what works in polite society, or the norm or modality of polite society, is not what works in primal money. No. So you need to make this conscious decision. I remember Clauneck having this conversation with me that I'm sharing obviously on video. You need to make this conscious decision of what frequency, how often does the money come in, how big is it, how small is it, what is it, who are you? Because it's very easy if you are not complete and sure within yourself. We're all human beings. We all have those issues, including myself, where there are areas of your life where you may not be whole and complete. You may have trauma. You may have suffered abuse. You may have suffered neglect. That's normal. And it's very easy to go and plug and play into whatever nonsense somebody is giving you. You know, this high ticket coach wants to sell you this, or this one wants to do this, or blah blah blah. Look, I'm not saying real transformation doesn't exist. I give it to people, but the point is that I'm not trying to sell people a dream. I'm really not, and I don't care for it. And you see, the more further you are away from your own money frequency and from yourself, the easier it is to sell you something You know, I had this conversation with a friend of mine probably about 6, 7 months ago, and we were talking about somebody we know in common. And I said, man, those people just scammed her. And she stopped me and she said, is it really a scam if she enjoyed the ride? And it put a lot of things in perspective for me, and I thought, I see what she's saying. Really getting to know yourself is a very brave and difficult journey, because it's gonna go against everything that whatever people are putting out fixates on. A prime example of this is this whole movement of, you know, women who are like, we want provider men, blah blah. The notion is right, a man should provide. There's nothing wrong in that. It's the mannerism and the modality you're going about it. Like, everything's a checklist. The man needs to have this, man is this. Basically, the man is a business. You're just there to use him as an ATM. He has money, he gives you security, who cares how he treats you, or whatever. It doesn't make a difference, right? You sold yourself for the money. Typically, we call that gold digging, or worse words, but I don't want to go there. And a woman needs to sit with herself and she needs to ask herself that question. If I don't have any love or humanity for a man in my heart, those arrangements work very well. You're there, it's an exchange, it's a transaction. You look attractive, the man pays your way in life, you probably get married, you know, you have an image. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, okay? I am just trying to make this clear. But it goes back to the money frequency comment that I'm making here. If you are a woman, or even a man, I'm giving an example here, but traditionally for women, and you want to be with a man, or you want real love and real affection, and you want something real with a man, none of that advice is going to work. Look, they've got good boundaries. Gold diggers have very good boundaries with men. That's one thing I can recommend you to learn. And the rest of it, you have nothing in your heart. There are many, many women I've sat down with, and you know, that's it. The only thing they're looking at is he rich? Does he have money? Does he have a business? Does he have assets? I get privy to these type of conversations because I'm a woman, because obviously they assume that I feel the same way too, so it's like, you know. And sometimes I sit alone, I'm like, how can you just look at a man as a bank balance? How? But I forget that that's not how I look at men. Like, and I see men as a human being. Alright, there's a little bug that wants to come through my window, so I'm gonna shut it. It's a tough one. And it goes back to the money frequency that I'm talking about. Very easy for someone to tell you, you know what, you want to make this much amount of money? Do crypto, do forex, open your business, do drop shipping, do a Shopify store, invest in this. What if none of that works for you? None of that worked for me. Yeah, sure, my own store, I run it with Shopify, good. It's just a platform that I list products and services on. And it's seamless and convenient. Because what I wanted to do was something that was very unique. Nobody had heard of it. Nobody had seen it. Even I didn't know what the hell it was. How am I going to explain what the hell Spartanite is to someone? People are going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? But I had a vision. I'm like, this is what Spartanite is. And then I used all my business knowledge and my e-com knowledge. And I put the little thing together. It's done well. I'm happy. But I had to create something from scratch for myself. And that's the reason it's so difficult. That money frequency is difficult. People have made millions in a short amount of time because they have plugged and played, like Amazon FBA. People have made 0.2 million, point this, whatever, because they've just literally taken supplements. They've literally taken this. I don't know what they've done or what they've not done. A lot of people are scamming people. That's the scary part. And I looked at it, I was like, I can make a lot of money with it, for sure. Like, when I was at that place, I was like, yeah, the prospect of making X amount of money looks very good, man. I'm not complaining. Money's money. The more money you have, the better life, the better quality of life you can live, because you can go and do whatever you want, right? And you've got the time to do it because you have the money, right? You're not exchanging the time for money. But I wasn't going to live my divine mission. I wasn't going to live my destiny if I just became another dropshipper, you know, another FBA, whatever. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. The point I'm trying to make, what Clauneck is saying, is your money frequency is what's unique to you. Nobody else in this world could have done it except you. And I don't sit on camera, I don't stand on camera and try and teach strategies to be, quote, quote, I'm still using little stoppers in my hand, quote, quote, strategies of do this or do that. I don't teach shortcuts. Nature is not about shortcuts. Nature knows who wants to cheat her price, and she will punish you for using shortcuts. If there is a dream in your heart, dreams are not easy to achieve, because if it's something that's unique and special, and it's ahead of most people's time, people are going to think you're crazy. A lot of people have called me dumb, stupid, she's retarded, look at her, what's wrong with her? Like, you see, when you don't have pedestrian, low IQ, chimpanzee intelligence, God, I feel bad, because a lot of chimpanzees are smarter than most people I've met. People are gonna, yeah, I knew this very smart guy, and he said, you know what, a lot of people used to call me a retard. I looked at him, I was like, what, you're one of the smartest men I've ever met, and I mean smart, not one of those, I got a degree from this university, that's not smart, that's just regurgitation of nonsense. But it just goes back to the money frequency that Clauneck's talking about. What's unique to you? You see, when you plug into a system that's already created for you, it's an easy job, and a lot of people will tell you to do that. Why reinvent the wheel? You want to make money. You want to do this. Because their only goal in life is money. For me, my goal in life is the light of knowledge. The knowledge I can receive in this world. I used to have a guy I used to know. He used to say, money's a piece of paper. We die and leave it here. I mean, he's right in what he's saying. Just his delivery was off. But attaching yourself to money, you see, if you're trying to look for a bank balance to make you happy, no, it doesn't work that way. Of course, you need a certain level, or certain whatever it is, but your personal money frequency is what's unique to you. How often do you bring in that money? How do you bring it in? And the more unique you are as a person, the harder it's going to be. I knew how hard I found it. People are like, what the hell do you actually do? Like, they couldn't wrap their mind around it because it wasn't for them. If people have to ask too much what it is I do, my stuff's not for them. And I designed it as such, and it was difficult. And I tell people, it's very easy to go get a job. It's very easy because it's predictable. You don't have to like struggle mentally too much. Like, yeah, they might give you different tasks or difficult stuff, but you don't have to struggle whereby it's something unique, it's something different, it's something personal. So your personal money frequency is basically what you came to this world for. Some people came to this world to eat McDonald's and die. I'm certainly not one of those people. And no amount of money, nothing would have made me happy if it didn't come through Spartanite. That's not because I can't receive the money, like somebody gifted you X amount, great. But even then, I would have built a very successful revenue stream and been like, I still want to do, okay, I don't know what's going on outside. I still want to do Spartanite. Because there is only a change in that Spartanite. It's a healing vehicle, and it was the only way that I could feel truly happy to receive that money. And to be proud that I could bring in that money from a dream that I created. So your money frequency is tied very strongly to your dream. In conclusion, people are going to laugh at you. They're going to call you an idiot. They're going to be like, oh, you can't do it. Just because they're losers and they can't do it. That's why. Because they listened to the people who told them they couldn't do it. I didn't listen to anybody. I didn't care. You have to switch off a lot of external noise. Social media is a big one. I don't spend time on it. Unless somebody's trying to message me for an invoice or someone trying to ask me something, I don't care. I do auto stuff and I'm out. So just because somebody gave up on their dream doesn't mean you have to give up on yours. And people are going to be very, very jealous when they see you successful with your dream. They want to see you fail with your dream because it's a validation that they can't get anywhere. So your money frequency is tied to your divine mission, what you provide for this world, and the satisfaction, the emotional. You'll get financial satisfaction. You'll look at your bank balance and be happy. You'll feel proud, like I can buy this, I can do this, I can do that. And it's a different type of confidence. But the emotional love to contribute something valuable to humanity, there's no price tag on that.